How are we? Sorry, I'm a little late. Well, technically, I'm early, but I'm also a little late because I could have started much earlier. I was having some difficulty with the iced coffee this morning, so I have this fucking sweet ass cup. I mean, sweet ass cup. Does anybody remember Wingstop? Oh, I'm sorry, Wing House, not fucking Wingstop. Wing House. Are these still open? I think they're closed. Does anybody remember? 4-1 is not a bad day. Good job. Who shipped yesterday? I was shipping like the package, man. Ship the seats today. Get it back. DGen plus 3.5 minus 1.5. Adam till I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, JFK, right now. Wing House. Who knows Wing House? Used to play softball and we go to Wing House every day. That's a lie. Not every day. After every game. And got a cup, got an old souvenir. I think they closed. That's too bad. He's talking about your spread trends. Oh, yeah. No, I never heard of that place. That's too bad. Got it. Okay, this plus 3.5 and Adam minus 1 I'm adding to the list. Yeah, I mean, look, listen, you could do whatever you want. Oh, recurring numbers. Got you. I didn't know what the fuck you were talking about. I think you're talking about me plus 3.5. Do I have a fucking skin tag or something? It's a Florida thing. Good morning, DGen. Let's keep this run. CBB run go. Yeah, I went 5-4 last night, plus 0.02 units. I added Florida late. I came around to it. Because Florida just burned Kentucky. Those fuckers got killed. Hovey with a sub bang. W Hovey. But had some good reads. I played a couple wrong spots. My real shit wager of the night was Clemson. Clemson was a bad bet. And then you know what I saw? I saw some smart people were on Vodtech. I saw Krabs was on Vodtech. I saw a couple other people were on Vodtech. But Clemson was also kind of like Florida for me. Clemson and Florida, I was like, these fucking teams, they both burn people. How funny would it be if they go on the road as a short favorite and they win? I didn't have the balls to play Mississippi State hand up. I tell you sometimes if I forget to play things, I did not. That was not I forgot to play. That was I didn't have the balls. Straight up honesty with you there. I didn't have the balls for Mississippi State because they fucked me the game before against South Carolina, those cocksuckers. M. La Barbera with a sub bang. How we doing? A hype train already? We got two sub bangs. It's all it takes for hype train W's. By the way, I'm going to bring the music back in the stream. I know we've been lacking music. I apologize. Wright State was 4.5. As road favorite, they put up 1-on-1 to 5-point victory. Yeah, the home dogs of 4.5, not so good. Home favorites 4.5 are the ones that we're targeting. To fade. Road dogs 4.5. Road favorites 4.5 doing pretty well. And I want to make this clear. Because I had somebody, I know this guy follows me, Dave. I don't know if this guy likes me or whatever. I mean, I don't care that much. He's fine. He's harmless. But hold on. Let me go show you guys real quick a little comment. See what you guys think. Okay, let's share it. Good morning, everybody. By the way, nobody likes you. That's fine. Can't please everybody. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I had a corpse shitstorm like no other yesterday. First time I've ever seen this in my 10-year career in real estate, dealing with an absolute nightmare in 2 different deals, by the way. That is a significant portion of my income for the year, to start the year at least. So I'm going to do my best, but I am putting out fires still until today. So if I have to hop off, yes. Oh, okay. Well, here's one already. Oh, okay. With the Okay. Well, this is good. All right, I got one thing of good news. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Okay, very annoying. Okay, sorry about that. So a couple of fires being put out at work. I do apologize in advance. I might have to hop off here or there because I have something coming up at like 1 and they're going to confirm with me around noon. So we'll just do our best. That's fine. Sometimes work really sucks. Yeah, it does suck. Not to mention when you have a job that's 100% commission and deals fall through and then you lose your money and you don't get a paycheck. That's not fun. Anyways, W Cold Brew. I loaded this bitch up. I can't drink all of it. It's going to be too much caffeine for me. But W Winghouse, this is a football, by the way. It's a football. Laces out, Dan. It's a football. I was always, when I threw it, I think I was always like a pinky and ring finger on the thing guy. And my middle finger right up top. I think that's how I was. Yep, CMOC. I sucked down 3 eggs. before I started the stream, out of respect for that guy who asked me not to eat on stream, I'll do my best. W. Drake 9-0 at home. Yep. DJ, is that a football? Dig that. That's a football. Yep. W observation. I usually am a black coffee guy, but my mom has these fucking what do you call them? Creamers. Yeah, like French vanilla and hazelnut. I'm a big hazelnut guy if I do fuck with flavored coffee. But then I decided, I was like, you know what? Let me just throw a little vanilla in there. The problem is I went heavy-handed and I put way too much French vanilla in there. So I had to load up more cold brew to even out. And now I got a fuck ton of cold brew in here. I can't drink all that. Chat, what's the first round leader today? I don't know. The way I always throw football is poorly. Prefer to catch the passes. W, 2 fingers on the laces, DJ, and that's rookie stuff. Is it? Well, I didn't play quarterback. Maybe that was why I was a D lineman. What are you supposed to do? Make owners sign exclusive. I don't know what that means. Top of the morning. What's up, fat girls? Good to see everybody. So this guy, hold on. I did post my golf card, my golf CAD. Here we go. Here is the tweet. A couple of good reads. The under in the POD, not good. Didn't matter. Full game went under. Full game went over. Sorry. Fairleigh Dickinson. It was always the goddamn over, wasn't it? High total for Chicago State game. Fairleigh Dickinson, I end up laying it with them. Not good. UCF W's, Clemson shit wager. Kennesaw, baby. What did we say? We looked at the schedule for Stetson. You guys remember that? Yeah, don't even tell me. I bet it was a fucking shit wager. I mean, a shit ending. I don't mind Davis Riley. I like Riley. He's been kind of quiet. People are kind of sleeping on him. Look at that. I missed Maryland live because they started at 6. Got them live 4.5. They were 4.5 before that. And Mercer 4.5. They did not win, but they covered. But I'm going to start playing the money line on these 4.5 road dogs. Kennesaw State, Stetson just played their tour at home of Florida teams, and they did well. They won them all. So then they're on the road in Kennesaw. Kennesaw beat their ass right off the bus. That's how we like to attack that one. And then Youngstown State, maybe my best read yesterday, and I pussed out and I played the juice. I always do that. I don't do what I do. Do whatever you want to do. But I said Youngstown State was today's Baylor. 3 to 3.5. PFW had a good record similar to BYU. It looked consensusly, I don't know if that's a word, like everybody was on Youngstown per covers. Didn't matter. Chicago State won a 17-1 run, 75 minutes left in FT1. Wow. The refs call foul 3 seconds left. Oh, my God. That's brutal. Well, I guess I didn't even really deserve to be in that game. So, anyways, just pointing a couple things out. Thank you for the update, though, Kev. Pointing a couple things out here in the spreads. The 7.5 home dogs I seem to like. And then this guy, Dave King, nothing personal. Dave could probably kick my ass. Betting teams blindly because an unproven trend is minus EV. So I gave him my sample size in college basketball, which is pretty good. Betting a team because they're front of road dogs or home dogs solely based on that is no way proven. Listen, I just want to make something clear. I'm not saying any of this is proven. None of this is proven. If you're dabbling in this stuff, you know what we're doing is kind of silly, right? You know what we're doing is kind of silly. It's not proven. There's no fucking proven trend or data or anything I can show you behind it. It's just a fucking wave that I'm riding. And sometimes it works. You know, I was never a surfer, but my brother-in-law is, and I had some friends who are surfers. Sometimes they go to the beach and they don't catch any waves. That sucks. But if there is a wave, what are you going to do? You're going to ride it. So I'm trying to go out there and I'm trying to catch some waves. That's literally what I'm doing. There's some fucking waves right now, and I want to ride them. And they're not going to last. It's not going to be a foolproof thing. It's not going to go over the entire season, but it's working. All right, motherfucker? So that's all I'm doing. Good morning, everybody. Hype Train. EJ Willie with a sub bang W's. We got a Hype Train level 1. Like to see that shit. 69 viewers in here. Pause. My Nuggets. EV is proven. Very funny. Plus, yeah, they're kind of annoying. The only plus EV guy that I like is POD Pete as of now. My AV Nugget or my Nuggets. UNCG on a short road dog. Stanford home. South Dakota State short road dog. Okay, BJ, hold that thought. Good day. Sub bang. Yeah, Source. Trust me, bro. Harbaugh retired. Saban. My life is clear. Yeah, W's. Hey, I'm all for that. I'm over it. That's a great day. That's a great day for me in my football fandom. I'm so sick of Saban. I'm so sick of fucking Belichick. I'm way more sick of Belichick than I am Saban. I am so happy Belichick retired. And I think Patriot Nation should be happy. I mean, seriously, how much more do you want this guy to have a fucking stranglehold on your football team? Look at what he's turned it into. It's terrible. You're a joke. You're not good. Money Rolo with a sub bank subscribe for 2 months. Love to see that. Good day, sub. I think I already read that. Nice one, Special K. Yep. 3 legends retire. My Pete, USC, Urban, and Saban. Yep. I don't think Bill retired. I think he's going to coach elsewhere. Oh, fair enough. Well, okay, then at least he stepped down. I think Patriot Nation is in a better place because Bill stepped down. That's my opinion. Cheers. Run a hot route. Degen, what is life? I don't know what that means. Life is all about the pursuit of happiness, and what makes me happy is betting on games and finding spreads that have unproven trends behind them. That's what I enjoyed doing. Did you see the recent performance thing in Action app that was just added? It's in yesterday. Last 7 days, last 30 days section made me feel bad how I suck at betting. Are you sure that hasn't always been in there? I think that's always been in there. Let's go, boys. What's up, Ducks.eth? Interesting. I feel like I've always seen that. Okay, we've got Iain McBetts coming on to talk hockey. We got a massive fucking slate. Can't wait to go through it with Iain. And then we're going to touch on his best bets in the NFL. Wisconsin Badgers. I'll go back to the Badgers this year in football. Oh, you mean in basketball? You know what is going. Yeah, emotional day. Why? Oh, you're an Alabama fan. Fuck off. So sick of Alabama and Nick Saban. I'm very, very happy. Okay, let's you used to have to click into that section. Now it's at the top of it. Interesting. Motherfuckers think I care about a 6.1% mathematical edge long term. Yeah, I mean that's just not, it's just not fun for me. It's just not fun. The plus EV thing is not fun. I like doing this stupid shit personally. That's what I like doing. I like doing stupid shit, even if Fairleigh Dickinson breaks my fucking heart. All right. Let's get into it. Saban's last 5 was a QB draw, 4th and goal. LOL. W's. Michigan. Okay. Actually, my client is a Michigan alum that's getting fucked right now, who I'm trying to help. And I mean, he was literally, imagine going from cloud 9 to like fucking getting fucked in real estate. That would suck. I feel bad for him. I keep trying to tell him, bro, you got the championship. Milrow made Saban retire. Wasn't a draw yet. It was a bad snap. I will still, somebody asked me, hold on, where's my DMs? Oh, I got one more thing I want to ask you fucks. Can I old man yell at the clouds? What's up, Twitter? Only 4 viewers today? This shit's light. The pot's light. This was a good tweet. By the way, Greg got mad at me. In this tweet because he tweeted it and he only capitalized Carroll. He capitalized the C in Carroll. He didn't capitalize Saban or Belichick or Coach K. Can I, what's up, Young Q? What's up, Nikki Gambles? Can you guys get my back on this? If Greg is going to send a tweet, can he at least try to do it, make it look presentable? He got mad at me because he's a little bitch. He is. He knows it. I tell him all the time he's a little bitch because he tweeted, should have grown grammar. Thank you. That is well said. Greg got mad at me. He was a little bitch because he tweeted this, and you can see he edited it. I said to him, Greg, that's a good tweet. Can you please? He said Carroll, and then Saban with a lowercase s, Belichick with lowercase b. I don't want to be thought of as that guy that's annoying as fuck, but I'm sorry. You're 37 years old. I don't even care about your education. I don't care if you got a master's degree, which he does. Fucking capitalize names. Especially if you're going to put in a tweet where 3,000 people are going to see it. Well, don't make me be that guy. That's what I have to say to that. When you're in a meeting, but you got that noti for DJ stream, immediately lose interest in the corp shit. Love that. Proper punctuation, capitalization, spelling is important. People absolutely judge you for it. Agreed. He's mad because he knows that he fucked up. Thank you, Young. I know that. He tries to spin it and turn it around on me. I know that. Thank you. We want Steak. Steak and Greg will be on tomorrow. I'm going to go to the studio. In downtown. I'm going to have Steak in person. We'll have Greg remotely, and then make sure AZ, when you're here tomorrow, can you repeat that? Can you repeat that, please? Where was it? Grown men should have grown grammar. That's very good. I like that. We'll go over football today. We're going to talk about CBB until we get McMillan in here. So let's get into it. If I don't get into it all, we'll touch on a little bit at the end. I don't necessarily have a hard stop, but I think I mentioned, and I'll stop talking about it. I do have some shit to get to. But let's breeze through the board, shall we? Let's do it. Just to get the comments right. That's all that matters. Don't put a space between the comment. That's number one. But like, and I don't even care if you don't like you don't capitalize first letter of your sentence. That's fine. I don't care. But names, when you're sending a tweet of coaches, come on, man. Let me know when you want the Nuggets. Okay, just wait. Yep, Bert, we got Iain McBetts coming on. We were saying Greg. Okay, let's get into it. We got a 6 o'clock game here. Let's get some. I've been very good in CBB, but I'll tell you this: since last Saturday, I got my nuts kicked in. Last night was technically a winning night, but 0.02 units. I'll take it. 5-4, I'll take it, but I'm not happy about it. All right, not happy about it. But it's so cool for the young kids to text out capital letters. Get with it, DJ. And I fucking hate it. Oh, I want to just ask you guys real quick. Hold on. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. I know what you're going to tell me. I know what you're going to fucking tell me. That is the correct call, Snacks. That's a foul, Hank. Great call. Definitely a block. I don't give a fuck. That is my problem. My problem is these are actually legitimate fouls. That should not be the rules. That should not be the rules. Also, Trae Young, forearm into him, falling over. Stop that. Embellishment, stop that. Stop that. LeBron legacy in a nutshell. Wow, Boston Sports Talk. I've never agreed with you more. So soft. Might tune in for the playoffs, but regular season is ass. Yep, such a pussy foul. Definitely was on the floor, too. Yeah, I used to love the NBA. NBA is a joke. Zero defense and I mean, guys, I'm not here to tell you if that was or was not a foul. It is even worse. Like, you're making my point, Snacks, Hank, Berkey. You're making my point. These are, by rule, fouls. That's terrible, in my opinion. Let them fucking play some defense. How are you not allowed to have your hands straight up and go in front of the defender like that? How? That's crazy. That's how I played defense at LA Fitness back in the day. It's fucking bullshit. The reach-in was, I don't even know what the reach-in was. They penalized good T. Yeah, it sucks. I'd rather read a book than watch an NBA game. I know. I've got that. I've got the Billy Walters book. I still haven't started it yet. Hopefully soon. These Fortnite fucks never watched Going to Work Pistons. Yeah, no kidding. It's the fact that Trae Young threw his head back. Yes, dude, Marty. But that is the problem. That should have been a foul. How are you falling backwards like that? Trae Young's body almost becomes a C because he falls backward like that. If you run into something, you just run into it and you stay moving forward. Falling backwards like that, that should be the foul. If I was president of this fucking country, I'm just kidding. If I was in control of the league, that wouldn't be a foul. And if you run into the defender and fly backwards, embellishment, and you know what? I'll add a little more to it. That's a foul on you, and you have to go sit down for 2 minutes. Timeout. You want to act like a child or treat you like a child? That's how you fix the NBA, in my opinion. What's up, CJ? DJ, no chest hair? What the fuck? I know. I trimmed, bro. I trimmed my beard, too. That's why my face looks extra fat today. Okay, let's get into it. Let's talk. CBB is so much better. Yeah, I don't know about all that. All right, let's go. Let's talk to me, boys. And also on that note, let me hold on 1 second. Let me get the link over to Iain. No rush. See ya at 11:30. WBK coming on yesterday. Talk Galf. That was very nice. You should send an email to me with the correct grammar. Maybe I should. I'll tell you. We talk about like the conspiracy. I know there's a lot of conspiracy people on Twitter and on Twitch. We talk about like the lizard people and shit. Listen, I'm not here to say that there's lizard people, but you ever take a good look at Adam Silver? Have you ever taken a good look at Adam Silver? There might be there might be a case for lizard people if you take a real good look at Adam Silver. Just take a good look at him. That's all I'm saying. Dude, yeah, I'm glad that you the one that scared me, dude. I know, me too. I'm glad you guys enjoy BK. I think he's a funny motherfucker. And he's also just, he's just my kind of guy in terms of don't take yourself too seriously. Have some fun with gambling. Everybody fucks ass and is a giant loser. Gotta love it. All right, let's talk some ball. Bro, Adam Silver's one scale. Oh yeah, I already read that. Yeah, that was funny. All right. Let's get into the board. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to address that, but that can wait. That can wait. That can wait. Everything can wait. Okay. Get your golf guys in. Get your golf bets in if you haven't already. I'm on Matthew Fitzpatrick. My bets are posted. I do put them on action. I try to put everything on action. I have not hit a golf bet this year, but 0 for 1. Great season last year. I hope to repeat that performance. So let's get after it. Okay. Let's do the damn thing. Maine, what's up with Maine? Maine is 3.5-point favorites, 8-8, 8-6, 3-1 at home, 3-5 on the roads. New Hampshire. I mean, look, it's one of those things where right off the bat, I'm kind of leaning Maine. I mean, there's no real reason to overthink this one. I don't know that I'm necessarily going to play it. New Hampshire, Maine, they're kind of close, kind of rivals. Maine has lost 4 straight. They've lost 4 straight. They've also been on the road for 4 straight. New Hampshire was at home, lost to UMass. Oh, New Hampshire. New Hampshire just covered both their road games. Okay, this is probably going to be for me. Now, let me explain to you why I'm going to make this bet. I think I'm going to take Maine, and here's why. New Hampshire covered their last 2 road games. They're pretty good on the road. Maine has lost 4 straight games. Should they be a favorite against anybody? I don't know. I'm gonna go with Maine in a bounce back spot here. That'll probably be a play for me. UMass Lowell. Is it Lowell? I know we do this all the time. Where's my guy Furl at? I hope the puckheads are in here. Bert, Furl, I hope the puckheads are in here. We got puck to talk. We're gonna talk about 11:30. Let's talk about UMass. Lowell. It's probably Lowell. New Jersey Institute of Technology. I mean, UMass 14 at home. It's big spread. New Jersey sucks. Lowell. Okay, thank you. Vermont's pretty good this year. 11-5, 6-1 at home. 0-5 ATS at home. Sheesh. UMass can't cover, or Vermont can't cover a big spread at home. Can't cover a spread. Not even big, a spread. Well, they're winning games. Let's see what kind of numbers they are. I mean, do they deserve to be a 16.5-point favorite against anybody? They can't cover 10. Can't cover 12.5. I don't know. Let's see what UMBC is doing. UMBC is terrible. They're real bad. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time on this game. There might be something there with Vermont. Might be something there. Did you ever watch? No, I didn't, man. I didn't. Did Bradley cover? I didn't play Bradley. Fuck. Now that is one I forgot. Tell me, did they cover? Motherfuck. Told you I didn't have the balls for Mississippi State. Oh my God, I totally forgot. I fucking love Bradley. Good call to you guys. Totally fucking missed that. Good job. You should have Furl on for. I'm down. Furl's just got to tell me. I know he's Corp. Yep. UML first half is a decent look, I think. All right, Crutch, I'm in. Smoked Evansville. Yeah, Evansville sucks. UMBC might be terrible. I think I might be onto something here with Vermont, but I don't know. I'm not going to force it. JMU, James Madison, South Alabama. Looks like a big spread. A little RLM to South Alabama. Georgia State 6 down to 4. This is interesting. Now this is not considered a 4.5. This doesn't fit my system. Totally take Louisville money last night. Cool Canes. I'm very sorry. I know. I had 9 bets and I thought it was enough. I forgot a couple, but I didn't want to force a few others. Let's take a look here. Old Dominion has not covered 4 straight games. Oh, Old Dominion fucked us against somebody. Maybe it was JMU or something, because they didn't have their guys. They were injured. Maybe they're getting their guys back. Can somebody either confirm or deny? Yeah, I think they might cover. Coastal to cover versus APP DGen. Okay. Louisville was supposed to say, wow. And they went outright? It was Troy. Oh, maybe you're right. I think it was Troy. You're right. Jump Sean. I think you're right. GSU playing better ball right now. Okay. The RLM right there is interesting to me. I'm seeing 5.5 to 5. But I do remember we played Old Dominion and we got fucked. We got Furman. You guys remember when we got Furman? We were playing Furman, weird line, and then it was announced like 3 of their best players were out. Old Dominion, I'm pretty sure 2 of their best players were out before the game. You fucked me in the bowl. Oh, yeah. All right. We'll keep moving. Coastal. 10 to 8.5. 147, 147.5. Interesting. Do you maybe think there's something there with the under in Coastal or no? Is there maybe something there with an under? I know it's moving up a little bit. Doesn't Coastal play in a lot of high-scoring games? I mean, they see totals in the 150s. Have they played App State before? No, App State plays lower. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's a force. GG Ice. What are we talking about? 11:30. 11:30. We got time. Let's get another sip of this cold brew, shall we? What's up, Long Beach? Are you in your Tesla, bro? Driving in your Tesla? Cruising down the Tesla in my 6 New follower from Better Edge. I feel like that person was already following me. Sometimes I feel like people unfollow me and then follow me to like see me that they follow me, so I should unfollow or follow them back. I don't know. It's confusing. What a tangled web we weave. All right, FIU 2 down to 1.5. New Mexico State's 0-6 on the road. Sheesh. Get to the Illinois game. Okay. My FAU is playing Tulane tonight, but Tulane's in that 7.5 dog spot. Where is New Mexico State? New Mexico State 1.5 against FIU. I'm a little intrigued by New Mexico State. It's just a little interesting to see a 4-3 team against an 0-6 road team, and the 4-3 home team only needs to win by 2 points. I think that's kind of interesting to me. Binghamton and Bryant -7. Now, I don't like the 7-point favorites at home, personally. I don't like those very much. Binghamton 2-5 on the road, not seeing much there. Chattanooga, not really going to get involved with that one. Hampton. Oh, here's another one that's a little interesting. But Hampton's a really bad team, so I'm not going to look into that too much. Towson -5, 6-0 at home against Stony Brook. That's tough. Like 6-0 at home against 2-5 on the road. It's probably the right line, though. They're both 8-7. Probably the right line. Yeah, but you know what? It might be the right line because five is a good number. 5 is probably the right number. And they got similar records too, you know. They're both, and it's not like they haven't been like playing total opposites. They're both 6-4 in their last 10. I think that's probably fine. Binghamton Nugget. Oh, okay, sorry. Binghamton hasn't played a D1 game since before Christmas. They haven't played any game in 2 weeks. Did I pass Binghamton? I did. Okay. So you're saying you want to fade Binghamton? They're 7-point dogs on the road against Bryant. You like Bryant? Bryant's 4-1 at home. They're good at home. Yeah, I wouldn't talk you off that. I would not talk you off that. Chattanooga, we already talked about that. UNC Wilmington. Is this the one that somebody had? Yeah, Bryant first half. It's not a bad look. Is this the one that somebody had? UNC Wilmington against Monmouth, or was it UNCG? Bryant, good program. Okay. Northeastern and Hofstra. No. I'm not going to fall for that RLM, I don't think. Is that an 8 o'clock game? No, it's a 7 o'clock game. Let me see. Where's this fucking game? Oh, here it is. Yeah, 5.5 down to 4.5. I don't know. I do feel like that's a lot of respect. The only reason I think that's a lot of respect for Hofstra is because they're not good on the road. Hofstra's 1-4 on the road, and they're 1-4 ATS. 6 points on the road is a lot. This is a great spot for Northeastern. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe that's why sharps are hitting. Maybe that's why the sharps are hitting it. 5.5 down to 4.5, full move. I just think it's a lot of respect on the road. Laying points on the road is something to be taken into consideration when you think about the number. It might look a little bit shorter, but you have to remember it's on the road. They're college kids, for Christ's sake. Probably stayed at a Best Western. All right, College of Charleston and Elon. No reason to get involved there. 160 seems really high. NCAT. Nothing. Campbell. All right, Maryland, Michigan. Anybody like Michigan, or are we getting duped here? I feel like people love the Hofstra plays. It will be trending. Okay. I think that what do you think the line should be then? I don't know. Oh, you guys are talking about something else. I feel like 5.5-point favorites have been doing pretty well. I think. No Doug McDaniel for Michigan. Ooh. Okay, a little bad news for Michigan. Okay. Well, maybe that's why the total dropped 2 points. Fair enough. Wow, that's a high total. That's a high total. FAU 163 to really? Didn't Tulane just go under in their last game? Let's see here. I mean, I love me some FAU. Tulane just lost. Oh, at North. Jeez. Oh no, Tulane sees numbers in that. FAU has saw 3 total. Oh my God. How were we asleep at the wheel, ladies and gentlemen? How? We were asleep at the goddamn wheel. Asleep at the wheel. And you know what? That's on me. Look at these totals. I mean, FAU is a team that scores, aren't they? They see totals in the 152, 146, 154, and 147. And then we saw a 141 and a 139. And of course they go under. Motherfuck. That sucks. I have no choice but to think this game flies over. And you know what I really like? I really like FAU's team total. They're 0-2 on the road, 0-2 ATS. I think they got to get right here. It's a big number. But we do know 7.5-point dogs. Just last night, they're doing pretty well. UTA, UTRGV. Yeah, I don't really know anything about either of these teams. And I can't say that anything's really looking at me that funny. Greensboro. Yeah, we're just probably going to fly through all these dog shit things, all these dog shit games. Maybe we'll revisit them. Oh, Illinois and Michigan State. That's a good one, actually. Illinois, Michigan State, 11-3, 8-1 at home. Sparty 0-2 on the road, but if I'm not mistaken, Sparty's been pretty fucking good. They went on a tear here, won 5 in a row, then they just lost to Northwestern. Wow, they got their dick kicked in, lost by 14. Yikes. What's up with Illinois after they lost their guy? Oh, they lost to Purdue. Interesting. I think I like Michigan State there. Oh, I see Ian Mack in the queue. St. Thomas is a wagon. Hasn't Illinois covered everything? I mean, they're 9-0, 9-1 ATS. Yeah, you might be right. All right, we'll come back to college basketball toward the end. I want to dive into NHL. I see Ian's got his head down. Ian, are you ready? Awesome. 2 thumbs way up. By the way, I got a new computer. Have you seen this?
Wow. I have seen that from someone else. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Because that just reaffirms that I have not got hacked. Because I thought somebody hacked my Twitch and was like doing this.
Yeah, the show I do with Fansided on Tuesdays, actually, we were midstream and my co-host Sterling Holmes did a thumbs up and that popped up and I had no idea what it was. But yeah, I have seen that before because of that. Okay. I don't have it on mine though.
No, yeah. Well, I had a dinosaur of a computer that was slowing me down. I couldn't open up multiple pages and I was like, all right, fuck, I got to bite the bullet. Are you a Mac guy or a PC guy?
PC guy. I do have a Mac laptop, but the next laptop I get, I'll go back to PC.
God damn it. I'm a Mac guy and I just got another Mac. I'm getting shit on by everybody in here. I deserve it.
I mean, yeah.
All right, fine. I don't want
Mac is like 10 years ago. Like that's when everyone had Macs. You got to get off Macs now.
You don't have an Android, do you?
No, my phone is an iPhone. Yes. I used to be an Android guy though, up until the phone that I have now. I think phone, you go iPhone, you go Apple, but computers, you got to stick PC.
Okay, that's reasonable. I respect your opinion. All right, so before we talk NHL, I want to have you come on. It's been a while, but I want to have you come on because I know you're a big puck guy. I feel like we're few and far between for the most part, but with college football ending and now the NFL coming down to the playoffs, I want to go full throttle into the NHL. And I'd say we're about halfway into the season. So picking up more into learning about not learning, but kind of understanding the teams in and out, following them a little bit more, how they do at home, how they do on the road, etc. Who gets hot riding those streaks. And then maybe not necessarily right now, but I have you back on in like 2 weeks and I would love to talk maybe some futures. And I think we did that for the first time last season. We went over some potential picks for cup winners, make the playoffs, shit like that.
Yep.
But before we do that, I want to go over today's slate because it is it's thick and juicy, 13 games. Yep. And so do you bet Not every NHL game like you do with the NFL.
No,
But how many bets a night would you say in the NHL you find yourself having?
most nights I bet 3. I have 3 bets. Sometimes I get crazy. I have 4 tonight. Sometimes I go 4. Rare times I'll go 5, but usually it's 3 as long as I have 3 or more games to bet on.
Okay, I respect that.
I like an odd number of games. Tonight I have 4, so I'm breaking my own rule. But I like an odd number of games because if you go like 2 and 2, then unless one of them was an underdog, you lose a little bit of money. So I just like either a winning record or a losing record.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I try to do that too, but then sometimes I forget and I look at my card and I see I have 8 wagers pending, and then you go 4 and 4 minus 0.7 units. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
All right. And do you have any like, I don't know, do you find yourself playing totals more, sides more? Or does it not really matter?
Sides more. I mean, I definitely play totals, but I would say probably sides 2/3 of the time.
Okay, and then last question: do you do any player props?
No, but I would like to get back into player props. I did some player props during the playoffs last year, and I had some success with them. I think once the NFL season is over, I'm going to dive into player props a little bit more because I just think player props takes a little bit more research, and I'm just so bogged down with NFL stuff right now that it's hard to kind of do extra research in the NHL, especially because, I mean, the writing I do for fan-sided/bet-sided, NHL stuff is like a far distant from like NFL and basketball in terms of like showing up on search and how many people read NHL related articles. So I have to kind of focus on NFL and college basketball first. But once I get more time to dive into NHL, I would love to dive into some player props because I think that is kind of where the value lies when it comes to hockey.
Okay, I like to hear that. I'm going to slowly start to creep into it. However, from what I hear from the board review chat and people that do prize picks, is everybody is done with shots on goal props. So that's probably something that I'm okay avoiding for whatever reason, stat correction, shit like that. I like leaning into goalies. So I'm cool with
that's what I did in the playoffs. I did a lot of save props.
Great. So I just did my first 2-leg prize picks in weeks. And so that got me a little bit into back into player props. So we don't have to dive into them so much today, but again, maybe in a couple weeks when I have you on again, we'll talk about that. All right, let's pull up the board. Let's get into it. Ottawa and the Sabres. I like to use covers. I like their interface when you're looking at games. But I have found that their lines are not accurate. So I like to just pull up. I use the Action app. What do you use for lines? Are you like a Wager Talk guy or a pregame or something like that?
No, I just use BetStamp.
Okay, use BetStamp. All right, fair enough.
BetStamp doesn't give you like the splits, like where, like what side people are betting or things like that, like it does on that cover screen. But you see the odds and see the odds at every sports book, so that's where to go for the best odds.
Yeah, I like that. So I'm looking here, and for what it's worth, I don't really value this too much in terms of the betting percentage. But the Sabres are 135 down to 130. Total at 7. Looks like it opened 6.5. The under is still juiced, minus 122. I don't know if you already know this, but I have been a very anti-Ottawa Senators during the season, and early in the year, I took them to miss the playoffs. Steep price. It was like minus 170, but I laid 3 units on it. So they're not good, which is great. But what I mentioned the other day is they've got like 4 or 5 games in pocket on everybody else, which kind of scares me. I keep telling people they get respect almost every night, no matter who they're playing. The line seems to be a little bit shorter. I feel like the books respect them. And on top of that, I feel like bettors respect them. They usually take money, especially at a plus price. And this just happened again. They were on a West Coast road trip in Calgary. I don't know if you followed that game or were on that game. I was
on the Sens in that game.
Okay, so was the other guy, Jovan, that I had on, who is a smart NHL bettor. Smart people are betting the Senators. I guess maybe they see something there with this team. I like Brady Tkachuk, but I just don't think they're the team that I want to bet on. Now, I haven't been blindly fading them and leaning into that, so I'm not necessarily making money off of it game by game, so I can't really toot my horn there. And on the same note, the Sabres are a team that I faded this year. I have their under point total. I'm happy to see where they're at right now, but I keep thinking that they're going to get hot. So if I were to play this game, I'm going to stay off of it. I'd probably lean Sabres. No read on the total. Do you have any thoughts on this game?
If there are 2 teams in the NHL that I've fewer thoughts on than these two teams, I'd be shocked, because these are two teams I actually have not bet very often on or against. When I bet the Senators the other night against the Flames, that was more of a fade of the Flames more than was a bet on the Senators. Didn't work out.
That's fair.
But yeah, I'm starting off with a boring take. The first game you tossed at me, it's a game I have very little opinion on. Both teams, the Senators, I will say, and you're right in saying this, like heading into the year, all like not only just bettors, but obviously I follow like a lot of like hockey, just general hockey people, and a lot of them were high on the Senators being a playoff team this year. So I don't know if it's just, even though they've got off to a bad first half of the season, like these people are still stubborn and still think that the Senators are a good team. But I mean, statistically, they're like a average to below average, probably below average team. And kind of the Sabres are too. I think I would probably lean the over if I went anywhere in this game. But what is it? The Senators, like the Senators, is it penalty? I think they have the worst penalty kill in the NHL, which always concerns me with the Senators. Yeah,
absolutely.
Second worst penalty kill. So I'd probably lean Sabres or the over.
Yeah, I like the Sabres, and that's okay. You don't have to force anything if you don't have a read on it. We got plenty of games to go through. And I guess the last thing I would say on this, I feel like it's a really bad spot for the Senators. They are, let's see, it's going to be the 5th game of a road trip that started in Vancouver, Seattle, Edmonton, Calgary, now all the way over to Buffalo. So I feel like they got to be pretty gassed. They have lost every game on the road trip. Maybe they try to get one, but the Sabres are also coming off a 5-2 loss against the Kraken. The Sabres, for whatever reason, by the way, cannot win back-to-back games, but they did do it just the other night against Pittsburgh. I had them. They did not deserve to win that game. So they are playing poor hockey, and I'm okay with that. I'll just sit on the sideline. Another game, I don't really get involved too much when I see big spreads like this. So I'm okay if you don't have any thoughts on this. I don't either, but I do want to ask you about the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
So they're playing the Ducks, big spot, -360 total, 6.5 if that's accurate. But before I do you have any thoughts on this game or any plays in this game?
For the Hurricanes Ducks?
Yeah.
I don't have any plays, no. The Hurricanes, I have some thoughts with them as a team, but I don't have any plays for that game.
Okay, so I want to hear your thoughts. So I am a Carolina Hurricanes stan. I bet them last season to win the Stanley Cup. They were my pick for 2 units.
Yep.
I did cash out when Svechnikov got hurt. I thought he was a big key component to that team, and I got a lot of shit for it. It worked out, but I'm going back to him this season. They were my preseason pick again, 2 units. I forget what the odds were, 9-1 or some shit like that, maybe. But I mean, do you have them to win the Cup preseason?
No, no. I kind of jumped. I didn't bet on them. I don't know if maybe I said somewhere on a podcast or something. I mean, generally I do like the Hurricanes, but the issue with the Hurricanes, and it's been an issue for them the past couple of years, they're a very deep team. So when you look at a team that can, go on a run in the playoffs, you want a team that, can have a mismatch against other teams. I mean, that's why the Golden Knights won last year, because they're such a deep team. All 4 of their lines could compete against anyone. But the Hurricanes just can't score. And it's the same issue they've had over the past couple of years. They're one of the worst shooting teams in the NHL. They haven't gotten good goaltending this year, and you can't go far if you can't do the simple things right, which is finding the back of the net and stopping the other team from doing so. And the Hurricanes not good in either of those areas this year. So as much as like, if you look at like advanced numbers like Corsi percentage and Fenwick percentage and expected goals, the Hurricanes are a darling. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to score. You can get 50 shots in net a game. If you only score on one of those 50 shots, it's not going to matter. So I've been fooled by the Hurricanes a couple years in a row. I'm off them this year.
Fair enough. I'm looking at the odds right now. They're 11-1 to win the Cup, tied with the Rangers, Knights, Bruins. Wow, a lot of teams are 11-1. Holy shit!
Yeah,
I haven't looked at Cup odds in quite a while, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams are 11-1. Jeez.
I mean, the Maple Leafs third, tied for the second best odds. What are we doing?
Hold on. We're going to talk about the Maple Leafs a little bit later. Okay, well, here's my thoughts, and I will say, and I know I'm going to get shit for this again, but I don't want to be that guy who keeps backing off and been cashing out of teams. But I didn't like the way the Carolina Hurricanes looked this year. I went and saw them when they played the Rangers, and the Rangers won a 2-1 game. But the Hurricanes looked bad. I followed them a little bit throughout the season. I feel like they were a team that really needed that break during the holidays. I think there was like a 4 or 5 day break. And then in doing so, they came out and they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row, just lost in a shootout at home to the Blues. But I think that's okay. It was kind of a tough spot for them. They were back after a 3-game road trip. So I just think I'm going to hold on. I'm going to ride it. I like their depth. I like their coach. I love that they got Brent Burns, but you're right. The offense is kind of non-existent at times. And I don't know what the fuck's going on with Ronta. And Freddie Anderson is hurt. I don't even know if he's coming back or what the deal is with him. So I'm going to stay. I'm going to ride it for now. And I guess we'll see what happens. All right, here's a matchup that I kind of find intriguing. Oilers and Red Wings. Do you have anything in this game?
I don't, but I just passed by this game. I didn't even look at it. I kind of like the Oilers at those odds. Are they minus 170? I kind of like the Oilers. Oilers got off to a bad start to the year, but I don't know what they've been like record wise lately. But their numbers, like Corsi percentages and stuff, are like top 3 in the NHL.
They're 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah,
they are. Yeah. They're a team that I would not want to fade. This is crazy. The covers is saying that it's 7.5 total. I'm seeing 7, but the over's juiced. It looks like they're 140 up to 165. It's a lot of steam on them. I wanted to more so hear your thoughts about the Red Wings because that's a team that I'm invested in. I have their point total over. I don't know how they're 20-16-4, honestly, because I feel like every time I look up, they're losing. But I mean, I guess I'll take it. We do have some Detroit and Michigan guys in here who are Red Wings fans. They're not like, I don't think they're overly optimistic, but they're not also writing off the season. I guess Patrick Kane has been a nice addition. I don't know that I would get anywhere or involved personally on the Red Wings. I mean, at a plus price at home, let's see, they've won. Oh, they put together a nice little stretch though. They've won 4 out of their last 5, only loss being to the Bruins. They won all 3 games on a road trip. This is their first game back. What's today? The 11th. They didn't play since the 7th. So the 8th, 9th, 10th, 3 days off after a road trip. I think the Oilers kind of stuff them in a locker tonight, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I haven't placed that bet yet. I'm gonna place it though. Yeah, I don't like the Red Wings. I think the Red Wings are a fade team the second half of the season. I think they're a bottom 10 team, bordering on a bottom 5 team. I think they got a lot of luck to start the year, and I don't like them.
Yep. Our guy Bert said he leans Oilers first period. I would agree with that. I like the Oilers. It's going to be a steep price to score first or something like that, so I wouldn't play that. I like, actually, there's a bet on Hard Rock app. I don't think you have it in New York. I'm down in Florida currently, but you can take just a team to score a goal in the first period. I found that pretty interesting because one time I wanted the Carolina Hurricanes to score first, and it was minus 190, but I took them to just score a goal in the first period. It was minus 120.
Oh,
kind of nice. Dodge a lot of juice. So I would play something like that on the Oilers. I would bet on rust over rest. So, I mean, I think that's too many days off for the Red Wings. Oilers just played 2 nights ago. I think they're in a groove, and they're probably going to beat the fuck out of the Red Wings. That's what I would lean. The Florida Panthers and the Kings. This is a hell of a game.
Now we're talking.
This is a hell of a game. I actually might watch this game. The Florida Panthers have been on a fucking mission. And so I just played an under with them against the Blues and got very lucky there because the Panthers tried to go over themselves. This stretch of winning, is it 9 games in a row? 4, 5, 6. No, 8 games in a row is so impressive. And I brought this up last time we talked hockey, I think maybe 2 days ago. But it's not even just the amount of games they've won in a row. It's who they're beating. I mean, They're beating really, really good teams. So they swept a 4-game road trip, had a night off. Now they're at home. I would imagine, I don't know if you're familiar with what they call the Malinsky special, the guy who passed for VSiN, but his big thing was always fading a team after they return home from a long road trip. So this is probably a spot where you're going to see pros look to go against the Panthers, I would imagine. They are, let's see. Well, according to Action, it looks like we got a 10-cent move. Oh, God damn it. I got a corp call. I'll get to that later. A 10-cent move towards the Panthers. Cover says otherwise, but I'm going to go with Action here. So they're up to 140, total 6. Looks like the juice went from plus 105 to minus 105 on the under, which would kind of make sense because these are both under teams. The Kings have gone under 7 out of their last 10 games. The Panthers have gone under 7 out of their last 10 games. Kings were road wagons, but not so much as of late. You got to play in this game?
Yeah, I do. I grabbed the Kings at plus 123. If you were to ask me right now at the halfway point of the season, what's going to be the Stanley Cup matchup? I think it's going to be the Kings against the Panthers. I think these are the 2 best teams in the NHL right now. I actually think even though the Kings are on a 6-game losing streak, I actually think the Kings are the best team in the NHL. And I think the Panthers are a close second. So if the Kings are underdogs against anyone, I will take them. I think this game is probably going to be a coin flip if this is a neutral site game. I think the Panthers are probably favored just because it's at home. But I don't value home ice advantage as much as the sports books do. I find myself betting on road teams a lot. I'll take the Kings here. Even in this losing streak that they've been in, over the past 10 games, they're still actually playing good hockey. Like still over their last 10 games, they lead the NHL in Fenwick percentage, like second in Corsi. So I don't think they're playing bad hockey. I think it's just just the fault of variance and some bad luck in these games. So I still like the Kings. I still think they're the best team in the NHL. I'll take them as underdogs.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because I was going to bring up the 5 out of their 6 losses on this stretch. They've lost by 1 goal. 3 have been in overtime.
Yeah, and
so,
I bet on them, I think, in every single one of those games. So heartbreaking. Blew a 2-0 lead in the third period to the Lightning the other night.
Oh my God, the Lightning have been dreadful. And I will say it's maybe it's impressive. We'll get to the Leafs a little bit later, but the Leafs are the only one to shut them out and cover the puck line. So maybe Leafs are getting right. Somebody said quite the bold take, and I respect that. And if you weren't familiar with Iain when I had him on last season, he said the Bruins were frauds and then they lost to the Panthers in the first round. So we got to give him his flowers for that. We like bold takes here. Past 2 games have blown lead and lost. Yeah, I like the Kings, and you know what? I might like them early. So maybe get cheeky with a first period there or something. You have to imagine they're beyond frustrated of losing 6 games in a row, and this could be a good opportunity where they're already in Florida. They had 1 night off, but the Panthers coming back from St. Louis after being on the road for so long. This could be a good spot for the Kings. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I would also probably go with a square under here. I think this could be.
I agree.
Yeah, 3-1 game or something like that. All right. Let's keep moving. Canadians and Sharks. I don't have really any reason to talk about these 2 teams. Do you?
No.
The only thing I was going to say, and I promise I'm not going to spend too much time on it, I think it's crazy that anybody is not 185, 190 or higher against the San Jose Sharks.
I mean, the Canadians stink too, though.
They do. Fair enough. Okay. Not going to play it. Okay, I want to get your take on the Penguins, and I'll tell you why in a second, but Penguins against the Canucks, who have been just fucking, I mean, I bet you some hockey fans, I already have some people telling me that they're going to take the Canucks. Oh, no, Brian texted me after they beat the shit out of the Islanders. I was on the Islanders that game. He says he's going to take the Canucks to win it all. They've been great. So they're playing the Penguins, who have also gotten right since that stretch. And the guy, Jovan, who I had on before, hit one of his future bets that he placed at a plus price before the stretch for the Penguins was them to make the playoffs plus 110. So they've been playing pretty good hockey. Let's see what the line says here on action. Looks like a 5-cent move to the Penguins, 120 to 125, total 6.5. It went from under minus 120 to the over minus 120. The money hitting the over would make a lot of sense to me, so strictly because the Canucks have been going over 7-2 to the over in their last 9 games. And they're also very good on the road. I mean, they're just a good team in general. I don't really know if I'm going to get involved with the total, but I'd probably go Penguins here. After I just faded the Canucks unsuccessfully, it would be what I call bend don't breaks situation. How do you feel about that? Looks like you're smirking.
Well, people in the chat we're just talking about my Kings being the best team in the NHL take. Here's another take. And I'm betting on the under in this game, actually. So I am going with the total. I actually do like the under. In this pick, all revolves around my opinion that the Canucks are the most fraudulent team in the NHL.
Wow.
I don't think they're even close to as good as their record is. But what I will say, and it's why I'm not just taking the Penguins, I think they're actually pretty solid defensively, and they've got good goaltender play. I think it's their offense that is not sustainable. They have the best shooting percentage in the NHL this season by 1.7%. That's unbelievable. That's not sustainable. You can't continue to score at a rate of 13.78%. That's one of the highest shooting percentages at this point in the season I've ever seen. Sure, they can be a good shooting team, but they can't be this good of a shooting team night in and night out. If you look at their actual goals for compared to their expected goals for, it's a difference of 1.31 goals per 60 minutes. That's not sustainable. And yeah, Canucks are so there you go. I got someone defending me. Lucky's team by advanced analytics. If you look at PDO, which the reason why I called the Bruins frauds before the playoffs last year is because they are first in the NHL by a mile in PDO. Who's leading the NHL by a mile this year in PDO? The Vancouver Canucks.
Well, I'm happy to hear you say that. Partly because I was looking for some regression, and I'm not alone. A lot of people in this chat, you as well, it sounds like, we're looking for the Canucks to regress a little bit. Problem is, I lost a unit in thinking that it would happen after they beat the Rangers and playing in
Right.
UBS Arena. So I might go back to it here. The thing I like about the Penguins, and we have a guy, Jesse Marshall, who I think is a beat writer for them for The Athletic, and he mentioned that the Penguins had changed some things defensively, and it showed. I mean, their defense was playing really well. Also, I thought Jari was playing better, and that seemed to be a bit of a stretch or a bold take because people in the chat do not respect Tristan Jari that much. The two guys I've kind of been on sneakily, like player props, whatever, when they play a team going the team total under, have been Carter Hart and Tristan Jari. So I don't know how you feel about Jari. I kind of feel like he's improving, but my point is it could be more so about the Penguins defense improving, and he's just kind of taking advantage of that. I'm good with fading. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's just, I mean, Jari has a 912 save percentage this year, so like it's solid.
I was gonna say, is that good or bad? I feel like it's good.
No, and anything above 900 is solid.
Okay.
912 is good. Not great, but good. The other thing I'll say about the Penguins, and I think they've actually improved in this area lately, but their power play for the majority of the year so far was like one of the worst power plays in the NHL. It's still not great. I think it has improved a little bit, but that was another reason why I kind of like the under tonight. The Penguins have had some shooting issues and some big time issues on the power play.
Okay. I'm in. Also, Jari, he's had a couple days off. He hasn't played since January 6th in that loss to Buffalo. But again, I had Buffalo in that game, and they were getting killed. They really did not deserve to win. It was very fluky. So I like that. They'll be back at home. I think I might take the Penguins on the puck line. I'm doing that sometimes when I like a favorite, and it's short. I don't want to get too greedy. I'll dodge the juice if it's like a 175, 180 or something like that. I might just lay it and sprinkle on the puck line. I think this could be a game where the Canucks might not put up more than 2, and we could see maybe a 4-2 at best, staying under the 6.5, like the Penguins tonight a lot. All right, let's go towards the and I just one other thing I want to bring up. Bert mentioned, and he's very right. We kept talking about this. It seems really high that the Canucks are 22-1 to win the Cup with how well they're playing, and that seems like there's something there. With the odds makers, no, it's a bit fluky right now. So just kind of aligning with what you said. The Lightning are terrible. The Lightning are really bad, in my opinion. Granted, they're roughly 500, if you factor in their overtime losses. This is a team that I've tried to time a few times, and I've been very wrong. I think I took them against the Canucks in Vancouver, and then I almost took them again in Winnipeg. 0-2. They lost both games, and I've decided I'm just not going to do it anymore. But when I see a suspicious line with the Lightning at home, they tend to come through. And I'll take you back to when they played the Stars. I don't know if you remember this. They played in Dallas, and they got their shit kicked in. And then they played in Tampa like the very next night, and it was -110, basically a pick 'em. It was the strangest line, and the Lightning won that game. Then against the Kings, granted, they blew a 2-goal lead, and it was a little – fluky or whatever. But that line looked really short to me. I think the Kings were only like -120. I didn't play it. I stayed off of it. But I feel like the Lightning are getting some respect at home. Maybe there's a reason for it. But now they're -140. If this is accurate, let me look at the app here to verify. They are, well, it looks like they were -135 up to -150, according to Action. So there could be a 10-cent discrepancy. But regardless, we're seeing money hit the Lightning. Maybe somebody's out for the Devils. Is this injury related? Also, this seems like a really big number, in my opinion, for the Lightning team against a team like the Devils, who are pretty fucking good on the road. 12-6 on the road. So
yeah, they were good on the road last year too.
Am I missing something? What do you think?
No, I took the Devils. I think I got them at a pretty good line. I think I got them at +134.
So you see the value there with the plus price for New Jersey.
I do see the value there. My biggest issue with the Devils, and I've bet on the Lightning or bet against the Lightning a ton this season.
That's good.
They continue to like the other night against the Kings. They did not deserve to win that game. They made a 2-goal comeback, forced overtime, then won in overtime. My issue with the Devils, though, even though I'm going to bet on them, is they have the worst save percentage in the NHL this year. Their goaltending sucks, no matter who plays in between the pipes for them. That's an issue for a pretty decent shooting team. The Lightning overcome a lot of their deficiencies with just pretty good shooting. And if you have a good shooting team against a terrible goaltender, that concerns me. But overall, a lot of metrics don't back up the Lightning being a decent team. So I jumped on the Devils at that price. Like I said, +134. but it's not a super. It's always hard to bet on a team that has bad goaltending because they
JJ
can
Miles
shoot their
is
opponent by.
saying Jack
Oh,
Hughes
Jack
is
Hughes.
out.
Well, there you go. I didn't know that.
Had to be injury related. That's only.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. What do you think about the total? Would you go over?
Yeah, I would only take overs in Devils games. Their goaltending is so bad. I'm not betting on an under. They might allow 15 shots and 4 of those shots go in the net.
Fair enough. Okay, let's talk Kraken.
Oh wait, yeah,
Capitals.
Jack Hughes been out for a while. Yeah.
Okay. Never mind then. Never mind. He's out for a little bit. Okay, thank you. Devils should have tried to get Hellebuck in the offseason. I don't know. That seems like a stretch.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, every team should have tried to get Hellebuck. Leafs should have tried to get Hellebuck.
So Capitals, maybe this is another team that not another team that I'm wrong about, a team that I'm wrong about. I thought about, so I faded the Capitals last season on the point total. They went under. I thought about doing it again and getting greedy and doubling it. I just thought, when certain teams start to fail, I feel like start to crash. I feel like they crash hard. I really thought about leaning into the Capitals every which way. I ended up not doing it. I'm not investing them at all. But I might be wrong about them because their record is better than I would have expected to start the year. So how do you first, before we talk about this game, how do you feel about the Washington Capitals?
I hate the Washington Capitals. I think if there's one team that I would advise people to fade in the second half of the season, I think it might be the Washington Capitals. Their metrics are like bottom 5 in the NHL across the board.
I love to hear that. Is that more so with goaltending or with their ice play? I don't know, whatever the fuck to call it. 5-on-5 hockey, or is it a little bit of both?
5-on-5 hockey. When you look at their numbers, 5-on-5, and if you adjust for score and venue, they're like a bottom 5 team in basically every single stat you want to look at. Like Corsi percentage, which is probably my favorite starting point for stats.
What does that stand for again?
Well, Corsi is the name of the guy who came up with the stat. It doesn't stand for anything, but it basically measures all types of shots. So all types of shots for and against. Those are even shots that like miss the net, block shots, all types of shots. It's kind of like how hockey analytic guys measure possession, since you can't really measure possession since the puck is bouncing all over the place. They measure all types of action on the net, and then that's Corsi percentage. So if you have a low Corsi percentage, a lot of pucks are being directed towards your net and not many against the opponent's nets. This season, when you adjust for venue and score for 5-on-5 play, which gets a little bit more complicated as well, but overall during 5-on-5 play, the only teams worse in Corsi percentage, at least, is the Blackhawks and the Sharks. Only worse teams in that. And then if you look at Fenwick, which is the same as Corsi, but then you take out block shots, because the idea behind Fenwick is that block shots are a skill and not based on kind of like luck or possession. Capitals still third last in NHL, ahead of only the Blackhawks and the Sharks. So I think this team stinks. I think they are the best fade candidate in the second half of the season. And they're just kind of a boring team to watch too.
I couldn't agree with you more. I'm happy to hear a smart person give smart reasons as to why. Because my thing was it's almost like the Lightning, except I respected the Lightning a little bit more. It's just like, I feel like guys on their team have been around for so long and they're just wearing down. And I don't necessarily like the pieces that they brought in to add to that. It's not like, sometimes you get these young pieces like, ooh, that's going to mesh well. And now the old dudes who play might regress. At least they're there for the veteran leadership. Nobody on the Capitals excite me. And they're just boring, bland, ugly style of hockey. And that's not what really gets me going. So I'm happy to fade them. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Maybe there's an in-season way I can maybe take them. I'll look at a missed playoff price or something for the Capitals. I'm sure it's going to be pretty steep, but or like all under points. But in this specific game, the Seattle Kraken are an interesting team. I don't know how you feel about the Kraken, but they were fucking road warriors last year. They started like shit this year. That's okay. I'm not going to say there's like these interesting things that happens with teams. And I think it's with all sports. It's not necessarily a Super Bowl hangover, but it's like an overachieving hangover from the season prior. And the Kraken getting to the playoffs, knocking out the Avalanche, and really going fucking toe-to-toe with the Stars was very impressive. Then I think they finally are a team that have expectations, and you kind of just don't really know how to handle them yet coming out of the year. So they're a little sloppy. Talk about coming out of the break and needing a little reset. They've won 8 in a row. And now they're on a road trip here, and they just beat the shit out of the Sabres, as we talked about, going to Washington. I think I fucking love the Kraken in this spot. Would you co-sign that?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Kraken just because I hate the Capitals. I think the Kraken got a a little bit of extra credit because they beat the Avalanche last year. They were a wild card team in the playoffs, weren't they? Am I wrong in saying that? I think they were a wild card team.
I think they were too.
So, I mean, if they lose the Avalanche in Game 7, I don't think or as many people would have been as high on the Avalanche coming into the season. So, or as high on the Kraken. I'm not big on the Kraken. I think they're like the definition of an average hockey team. But I do like them tonight just because, like I said, I hate the Capitals. Biggest fade candidate of the second half of the season.
You'd say the Kraken are mid.
I would say they're the definition of mid right now.
Do you ever use that term, the Gen Z term, mid?
I'm in my 30s, so I'm too old for that now.
I am too, but I sometimes I like to dabble with some of the lingo. I'll drop a mid sometimes. You ever say hella mid?
I definitely have never said hella mid. I've probably dropped a couple of mids. I can guarantee you I've never said hella mid.
Give it a try. It's a real shot of life. All right. I don't know what I'm going to do. Total. This is interesting. You don't see this very often nowadays. Back in our day, 5.5 totals used to be today 6.5 totals. You never see 5.5 totals. I'm seeing it's 5.5 minus 115 to the over. So this could be a really ugly game. It's also kind of an obvious under, in my opinion. The Kraken aren't really a team that go over that much, and the Capitals play an ugly style of hockey. By the way, Capitals are minus 400, miss the playoffs. I'd lay that shit, and I wouldn't even fucking think twice about it. Give me the Kraken tonight. All right, let's go to Brian Kirshner. I don't know if he's watching. He was on yesterday talking golf. His stupid Islanders. Let's see. They're playing your Leafs. Are you going?
I'm thinking about it. I haven't made a decision yet. The issue is this UBS takes so long to get. It's like an hour and a half door to door for me. And also I'm doing sober January. So like, do I want to spend an hour and a half each way to go watch a hockey game that I can't drink alcohol?
No. Oh, probably I saw your post.
Not, to be honest.
Non-alcoholic Guinness. That's a really good idea. You know what? You've inspired me. I can't go a whole month. Not that I'm an alcoholic, but I do enjoy a casual beverage far too often. But I don't know I can go a whole month, but I did see that post. And I told my wife, I said, because I bought non-alcoholic beer by mistake one time. I said I might intentionally, this might be the first non-alcoholic beer I buy intentionally. And did you enjoy it?
Oh, it's actually great. It's very, very, very close to tasting like real Guinness. Yeah. Okay. That's what's going to get me through this month is some non-alcoholic Guinness.
I'm going to go.
But I don't think UBS Arena sells non-alcoholic beer, so it would be tough for me to avoid it tonight.
Crutch Bet says non-alcoholic Guinness is by far the best non-alcoholic beer out there. W's. All right. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do a sober week in January. And maybe it'll start. I didn't drink last night, so it started last night. I'll do day 2 tonight. The answer is no, I would not go. But I am really excited to talk about your Leafs because I am a Leafs investor. I have them to win the President's Cup, which I thought did not stand a chance in hell. I think we have a little life. I say we. I mean, I'm not sure you're not very excited about it because you assume that even if you have regular season success, you're just going to get eliminated in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get too excited, but they just signed Nylander. I don't know what's going on with the goaltender situation, but you got to be at least a little happy that there are times in this season I felt like you look at what the Leafs are doing and you're like, oh my God, they might just blow it up. But then they start to win a couple games, and they've won 4 in a row. Now, I see 3 of the 4 that they've won are the Sharks and the Ducks. So I'm not getting excited by any means. But are you happy about that win in LA? And my question to you is this, Ian. Do you think that could have sparked a bit of a run for the Toronto Maple Leafs? I won't answer that yet. I want to hear what you have to say first.
First, I say I might be at the game tonight. And if I do, I'll be betting big on the Leafs. I already like the Leafs tonight in general.
I do too.
The Leafs need a good goaltender. That's been their issue. All these Austin Matthews-led teams that have gone to the playoffs and imploded, they do not play good enough in their own end to get by with an average goaltender. They need goalies to steal games for them. Their goaltending situation was a disaster this year. Ilya Samsonov's one of the worst goaltending performances I've seen in my life. But now for some reason, I don't know if this is just a spark in the pan here, but Martin Jones, my boy Jonesy, hasn't allowed more than 1 goal in 4 straight starts during this win streak. Now, you mentioned it, 3 of those 4 games came against the Sharks and the Ducks. But now for the season in 12 games, he has a .934 save percentage, which is extremely good. If for some reason Martin Jones has who was it last year in the playoffs? Bobrovsky, who the old guy just randomly started playing at an MVP level. If Martin Jones turns into that guy, the Leafs have a chance. But if they don't get strong goaltending, they lose games because they're so bad in their own end. Not only their defensemen aren't good in their own end, but their offensive players aren't good in their own end. Mitch Marner, sure, can create a lot of things offensively, but he is terrible in his own end. It's one of the things I actually like about Nylander's. He's pretty solid in his own end, and Nylander's the only guy who shows up in the playoffs every single year too. So I don't remember what your original question was, but I have a lot of emotions about the Leafs.
That's okay. I'll go back to the original question, but I like that you brought up Martin Jones. And do you remember it was December 7th? You and I were sitting next to each other after on the train ride back home from UBS.
Yep.
And we both had the Leafs against the Senators, and Woll got hurt, and your buddy texted you and said, Woll's hurt, season's over. Martin Jones comes in, and the Leafs end up winning. They beat the Senators, the dog shit Senators, 4-3. That was a great win for them and for us. But the question was, despite 3 of the 4 teams that the Leafs have beat, being the Ducks and the Sharks, one of those wins was in LA, and it was a 3-0 victory with Martin Jones in net. Do you think that could have sparked a nice little run? I'm talking maybe like the Leafs go on to win like 9 of 11 games or something like that. Yeah. You think it could spark a run for the Leafs? I think so. And I want to bet them. I'm not going to blindly bet them, but I'm going to do it in certain spots, I think, over the next 10 games. And I think one of the games I'm going to do it is on the road in the Islanders, who talk about being a little bit fraudulent. I don't think the Islanders are very, very good. And I'm ashamed of myself when I bet on them like I did against the Canucks. So I'm going to be on the Leafs here, and it sounds like you will be as well.
Yes. I do think the Islanders are a little bit fraudulent. I do think that win can spark something here for the Leafs. And I think this is a terrible stylistic matchup for the Islanders, because the Islanders are terrible defensively. They've been bailed out by their goaltending all season. I think they're like bottom 5 in expected goals against. And most importantly, they have the 4th worst penalty kill in the NHL. And now they got to take on one of the best power play units in the Leafs. So I just think, even though the Leafs aren't great defensively, when they play bad defensive teams, they can overpower them with their offense, and I think that's what happens tonight. So I think it's Sorokin starting for the Islanders. He's got to have a big game, because he's going to have to bail out the Islanders a lot in this one.
Yeah, the other thing is, too, I remember when the Leafs took their New York road trip, they played at UBS and at MSG. They lost to the Islanders and Samsonov. They lost to Sorokin 4-3 in overtime, and then they ended up going back in MSG the next night and beating the shit out of them 7-3. You were what?
I was at the Rangers game.
When the Leafs well, good for you.
It was a glorious game to be at.
Saw a nice little victory. Yeah, I like the Leafs. I'm going to be on them tonight. All right, next game. Let's talk about my Rangers.
I do need to address this in the chat. Someone said McMillan sounds like he's from Cape Breton. I'm from Nova Scotia, which Cape Breton's in Nova Scotia, and my parents are from Cape Breton, so I do have a little Cape Breton accent.
Wow,
nice catch.
Coastal KC is a Nova Scotian as well.
Oh, so there you go. That's why.
Yeah, I think he's in Halifax. Did I ever tell you I spent a week in Nova Scotia?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really nice time and a very random, spontaneous trip. Although the one thing I would say is Halifax wasn't. Oh. I thought it was. Oh. I didn't love it.
Oh,
I didn't love Halifax.
What time of year did you
go? Pretty cold, gloomy time of year. It was when a hurricane hit Nova Scotia.
Right. Yeah, you can't go to Nova Scotia or Halifax in the winter. If you go between like May and August, that's when you got to go.
Okay, it was cold. It was cold. Also, I think 3 days on Prince Edward Island was too much.
Oh, PEI sucks.
Okay,
the rest of Atlantic Canada sucks. Just Nova Scotia is the only place worth going to.
Okay, yeah, Cape Breton was awesome though. And the rainforest, I forget what it was called. It was very cool. Okay, let's not a rainforest. What the fuck am I talking about?
I'm just gonna let that one go. But yeah, I don't think we have any rainforest in Nova
Scotia. A national forest or whatever the fuck it is.
It's Cabot.
Yeah, I don't know if it was called that. It's in the southern part, but it was like the sky is the clearest in like the northeast.
And mainland Nova Scotia or Cape Breton you're talking about?
No, not Cape Breton. Cape Breton's to the north.
Mainland. I don't know what you're
It's on the southern part. Dingwall. No, not Dingwall.
Keji?
Anyways.
Makujik?
That sounds, it's funny to say. Yeah, it's fun to say. Keji.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Anyways, let's keep moving. All right, talk to me about my Rangers, who I think, unfortunately, are due for a little regression. I don't know that they're as good as their record indicates, even though they were early season wagons on the road and off of an ass kicking. Let's see. Yep, they just lost. They've lost 3 of 4, only win being against the Blackhawks. Let's see. Even going back a little bit further, I mean, they just really haven't been beating good teams as of late. Granted, you see on that road trip there at Boston, at Toronto, that's pretty nice. But since then, only beating the Capitals, Sabres, Lightning, and Blackhawks. Not very good teams, in my opinion. Mid teams, we'll say. So I feel like everybody's probably going to be on the Rangers here, not to lose. What is it, 3 in a row? I don't know that I want to do it. I feel like this is going to be a scrappy game.
Yeah.
The Blues just lost 5-1 at home to the Panthers. I think they give a better showing to their home crowd. Looks like the Rangers are minus 165. Not much movement. Total was 6. It's moved up to 6.5. I would probably go against that. I think I would go back to an under in a Blues game back to back, which I don't like to do because I feel like I'm getting a little bit greedy. The Rangers are 8-2 to the over in their last 10. The Blues are the complete opposite. They've been an under wagon. I think we get a low scoring tight game. I'd probably play the under or nothing. Do you have any thoughts on that?
The Blues to me are similar to the Capitals. They're a fade candidate in the second half of the season, but also I generally like to stay away from Rangers games because Rangers 5-on-5 numbers are like below average, but their special teams numbers are the best in the NHL. Their best power play unit in the NHL, 6th best penalty kill in the NHL. So like when you're betting on or against the Rangers, it's kind of a gamble on top of a gamble because you're hoping that they get a lot of time on the power play. If like the other team, if you know the other team is going to get like 4 penalties, I'd bet on the Rangers every single game. But then what if you bet on the Rangers and the other team doesn't get in the box once? Well, then you're screwed because then they got to play 5-on-5 the whole time where they're not really that good of a team. So because of that, I kind of stay away from Rangers games because they're so dependent on their power play.
Okay. I think that's more than fair. Real quick, sorry. Sports Hub, shout out for the sub bang, 12 months. And CJ2K, 2-monther sub bang, a couple of new follows, Schwammy, Bakesy, Jariah, and Reggie's Redbeard W's. I just realized it's 12:15, so I want to scurry through these next couple of games so we can just touch on your best bets in the NFL. And then we'll shut it down around 12:30. Thanks again for hopping on. I appreciate your time. Jets, Blackhawks, I have no reason to get involved in this game. Too big of a price. No, no,
with Bedard out, I mean, I'd lay the
Bedard.
420 on the Jets, I guess.
Yep, nothing wrong with that. All right, Flames and the Coyotes. I heard you say that you tried to snipe or fade the Flames, and I don't blame you at all for that. The Flames are a motherfuck of a team.
Yeah.
I bet on their point total over just so I didn't have to feel obligated to try to bet on them at any point throughout the season. So I'm just constantly invested. But the Coyotes are another team that I have money on too. They're kind of like my sleeper team. I got them to make the playoffs at a big plus price as well. Don't really know that I like anything here. Flames minus 120 feels like the right number. They're not very good on the road. They're not very good in general, unless you were to think that the wrong team is favored. I guess maybe you would try to go with the Coyotes here at even money. Total at 6. It looks like it went minus 105 to minus 110. I could see a low scoring game. And I guess maybe if anything, I'd probably go under here. You got anything?
Nothing. I think the game is priced right, both side and total. Flames the past couple of years killed me because I kept betting on them because their advanced numbers were good, but they keep losing games. Now their advanced numbers aren't even good. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't want to bet on the Flames, but I think the price is probably right. So no thoughts from that one.
Fair enough. Last game on the slate, Bruins and the Knights. Good game. In Vegas, should be rowdy. I'm seeing the Bruins are minus 120 up to minus 135, so don't pay attention to the covers numbers there. 135 on the road seems like a little bit of respect here, although the Knights have kind of come back down to earth after that incredible start to the season. Total 6. Looks like the juice is moving up towards the over. Minus 110 each way. Now it's minus 120 to the over. I don't know. The Bruins have been an over team lately, 7-3 to the over their last 10. The Knights are 3-7 straight up in their last 10. Jeez, I mean, they're really kind of falling off. The Bruins are always a scary team for me to fade on the road. I feel like they really show up, and especially in a place like Vegas, where I'm not saying it's like a football game where a lot of people from Boston are going to travel for this game, but I do think you're going to have a lot of Bruins fans probably showing support or in there, and they're coming off of a shutout. They're on a back-to-back off of a shutout in Colorado. No. I'm sorry. That's Vegas. Vegas just got shut out in Colorado. Now the Bruins are coming off of back-to-back losses on the road. In Colorado, lost in a shootout, and against the Coyotes, they lost in overtime. It would be really, really tough for me to fade the Bruins here. How about you?
Yeah, I think I'm not betting on this game. If I were to bet, I'd probably go the under. I'd wait until the starting goaltenders are announced, which it doesn't look like they're announced yet for this game, because if it's Jeremy Swayman for the Bruins and Aiden Hill for the Golden Knights, you got to take the under. Aiden Hill has been the best goalie in the NHL this year, leading the NHL in save percentage and goals against average, and Swayman's inside the top 10, 7th in save percentage. So if it's Swayman against Hill, and both these teams are kind of more defense-oriented teams, I would just take the under. But goalies haven't been announced yet, so I'd probably pause on that a bit.
So that's probably a little bit more the reason why I should have addressed that. Aiden Hill has been injured, so that's probably why the Knights
Has he not played in a while?
No, Aiden Hill.
I don't bet on Knights games often.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I don't think he's.
Oh yeah, he hasn't played since mid-December.
Yeah,
known that.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I saw him in person when I went to the Panthers Knights Stanley Cup game. He is fucking incredible. I mean, the Knights are just a good team in general, and they suffocate you on defense. But that guy, sometimes like you see goalies and you're just like, I just don't know how people can score on this guy. And then
Aiden Hill is on the brink of coming back. That's what I thought. He was actually expected to play last night, but then he didn't. So I think Aiden Hill's back tonight.
Gotcha. Okay, so this would be a don't overthink it under. Good goalies with Boston, and if Aiden Hill starts for VGK, you take him there. I would only have to say that I would think it's a 15-cent move towards Boston because people think that Aiden Hill might not play.
Makes sense.
Be on the lookout there. Yeah. All right, 10 more minutes, 12 more minutes if you don't mind running through just your bets in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you've also got them on your podcast, Bacon Bets. Did I say that right? Bacon Bets podcast. And when do you drop your NFL picks?
I record my Bacon Bets podcast for the NFL Monday night, so they come out Tuesday morning. So
wow, so you do them early in the week. You get them before the lines move.
Yeah, that's
the goal. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, obviously, the best case scenario would be to be betting them like Sunday evening when they first come out, but
right.
Yeah, a little bit too much is going on Sunday night. So
somebody asked, can we recap your best bets in the NHL? What are your 4 plays tonight in the NHL?
4 plays in the NHL. I got Kings, road underdogs to the Panthers, Maple Leafs against the Islanders, the under 6.5 between the Canucks and Penguins, and the Devils against the Lightning.
Cool. W's. Thank you. All right. NFL playoffs. We got 2 games Saturday. Texans, Browns, Chiefs, Dolphins. Do you have anything in these games?
Yeah, I have a pick for every game. So whatever one you want to toss at me here. I bet on every single NFL game.
You do that. You do that in the playoffs as well.
Yeah, of course. Got to continue.
I love that. How did you do this season?
My final record. So I imploded the last 2 weeks, but I still finished profitable. If I can find it here. I ended up up 3.5 units after betting on every single game. So not great. But I'm not a pro bettor. My goal when I do this, especially betting on every single game, is just to finish profitable. I finished 140, 129, and 3 for plus 3.96 units.
I think that's incredible. One time I played blackjack for 3.5 hours in Vegas by myself.
Yep.
And I think I had $300.
Yep.
Started with $300 and I walked away with $300.
That's a win.
Time.
And
that's a win.
What I say when it comes to gambling is if you're not losing, you're winning.
Yeah.
Which means if you walk away even, that's a win because it's entertainment. Free entertainment.
All right, good shit. Yeah, take me through real quick, if you don't mind, your favorite bets through or what you're taking for each game.
All right, Browns. I like the Texans with the points in that one. The biggest story in that game for me is how bad the Browns have been on the road compared to at home. Their net yards per play drops from plus 1.1 at home to minus 0.7 on the road. Their defense is even though their defense is elite, especially at home, actually not that good on the road, giving up 5.5 yards per play on the road. That's bottom 10 in the NFL. Also the worst red zone defense. Not enough people talk about that. So I actually like the points of the Texans in that one.
You want to know my only concern? I would really like the Browns here if it wasn't for the fact that the Browns already played and beat the Texans. Granted, I know there was no CJ Stroud, but I do feel like it's just hard to beat the same team twice. And the Texans already saw the Browns, and I think they're going to put together a better defensive performance. Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper went nuts. I like the under in this game. I think Stroud's first playoff game. I'm not going to fade him. I've made that decision late in the season. He's awesome. I'm rooting for him. I love the Joe Flacco story. The one narrative that I have a tough time seeing the NFL not want to happen, and I'm not here to say anything's rigged or fixed or anything like that.
Sounds like you are.
No. But I mean, come on. Joe Flacco against the Ravens next round. Tell me even as a fan, tell me you don't want that to happen.
No, I don't really care about it.
That's fucking crazy.
I don't care. Who cares about Joe Flacco?
Crazy. You don't respect
cares?
Joe Flacco making his return against the Ravens, a team he won the Super Bowl with?
I think the better story is the rookie quarterback CJ Stroud leading the Texans, who were the second worst team in the NFL last year, to a deep playoff run. I like that story better.
I think that story is great too. I'm not saying it's super lopsided, but I mean just the fact that Joe Flacco played on the Ravens and won a Super Bowl with them, I think is pretty.
It is a story. Yes, that story would exist. Yes.
Do you want to know
what I'm pumped for? No, I don't care.
You sound like a guy who is not invested on the Browns to win the AFC 31-1.
That's true.
The one thing that concerns me with the Texans, we'll go to the next game here, but if you look at teams they beat down the stretch, they're not that good.
Not good. Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned. And I also don't know how they only beat the Colts and almost lost that game. I watched a lot of that game. I felt like the Texans should have been up by 2 touchdowns the whole game.
Yeah,
I just don't.
It was a weird game.
That scares me. Okay. It's an interesting one. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are on the Dolphins and Chiefs.
Love the Dolphins. My best bet of the week is the Dolphins to cover, which is not a popular bet. I don't think I've seen anyone else on the Dolphins. A lot of people want to fade the Dolphins because the weather's going to be cold. They're a Miami team. Dolphins don't have a great record against winning teams this season. I don't care. Love the Dolphins in this one. A lot of people talk about the Dolphins' passing attack with Tyreek Hill and all that, rightfully so. Not enough people talk about how they have arguably the best running game in the NFL. Lead the NFL in yards per carry, top 5 in rush EPA, rush success rate, and the Chiefs' biggest weakness is their run defense, 24th in opponent yards per carry. Even in their loss against the Chiefs earlier this season, the Dolphins averaged 5.6 yards per carry on the ground against them. So if the Dolphins don't give up an early lead and they can just run the ball, I think they can not only cover this game against the Chiefs, I think they can beat them. Now, obviously, the biggest issue is the amount of defensive injuries the Dolphins have, which I recognize. I know they have a ton of injuries on defense, but that's also baked into the line too. Don't forget. It's not like you're getting one over on the sportsbook by betting the Chiefs because the Dolphins are injured. I think the Dolphins can run the ball and keep this close. And also, I mean, let's call it like it is. The Chiefs' offense hasn't been good all season. This has been the worst season for Patrick Mahomes in his career.
Great point. Well said. One of the guys, and I haven't been good this year in my player props. Actually, I've not only have not been good, I've been bad on my player props this year. So when I dub a masterclass for somebody, it's typically like you want to fade them, or they get benched. And I love Achan this weekend and in this game. So I like the Dolphins running attack. I don't even care if Mostert's not playing. And you said they have injuries to the defensive side of the ball. They also have injuries on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
Like Tyreek got banged up. Waddle's hurt. Their offensive line is depleted. This is a very contrarian pick of you. I love it. I like the Dolphins. I don't know that it's going to be an official play of ours. We do a newsletter that goes out every Friday. Talked about it with my buddies. And as much as I want to, like, fading Mahomes in the playoffs is a tough pill to swallow, but I like the number. I also really like the under. So I don't know what I'm going to make official yet, but I like to hear that you're on the Dolphins. All right. Tell me about the Bills and Steelers.
Yeah, I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on this one. The Steelers are the worst playoff team in the NFL. If you look at most websites who do that luck metric, the Steelers lead the NFL in luck by a few different sources. I think they're in over their heads here. Congrats to them for making the playoffs. My favorite stat, net yards per play, which is yards gained per play on offense, subtract yards given up per play on defense. They're the worst playoff team and one of the worst teams in the NFL overall, 26th in net yards per play. I think the Steelers stink. I think the Bills run away with it. It actually reminds me a lot of 2021. The Steelers snuck into the playoffs and went and played at Arrowhead against the Chiefs and lost by 21 points.
Couldn't agree more.
It's a very similar situation here. I think the Bills run away with it.
Yep. One of my buddies, Twitter acquaintances, not mid-major Matt, I don't know if he's in here now, but he DM'd me early when the matchups got announced and said that he thinks he likes the Steelers because of the injuries to the Buffalo Bills defense and the fact that Steelers, which I do acknowledge, and I've been on the Steelers late in the season, and Mason Rudolph, I bet him twice against the Bengals and against the Seahawks. Their running game has been really, really good. So if they can find success, I always like taking a big dog with a good running game. But I agree. The first thing I thought of and I told him was, man, Tomlin with a lot of points in the playoffs feels like bait to me. And it reminds me when they went on the road against Kansas City and they were catching a lot of points and didn't cover. So glad you made that comparison. I think the Cowboys look like, I'm not going to say the easiest bet because 7.5 is still a good number. I think the Cowboys, no, but I'm saying in a way, I'm talking myself off of it.
Right.
I think the Cowboys look like the most obvious shit kicking on
Interesting.
Because they're so good at home. They're
Yep.
great ATS at home. And the Packers have been a better team as of late, but they're so young. They're so inexperienced. You got the
Sure.
McCarthy revenge angle. I think Dak is going to shred this defense. I like the Cowboys team total. I don't know if I'm going to lay the spread, but I'm going to play points likely. What do you like here?
I think the spread is set at the right number for this one, so I'm going with the total. I'm going with the over. And it's one of the main reasons why the Cowboys to cover that spread kind of scares me as well, because the Packers offense became an elite unit by the end of the year. Actually, they finished the regular season 5th in EPA per play. So the Packers, very good offense, but their defense trended the wrong direction. Their defense went from an average defense to like a bottom 5 defense by the end of the year. So I'm just going to sit back and root for points in that one. Gun to my head, I think I would take the points with the Packers just because I think their offense can kind of keep it a little bit closer than some people expect. But I think the spread set at the right number.
Are you worried at all about that Packers offensive numbers coming against teams like the Giants, Panthers, and a dead Vikings team?
I mean, no, you could probably say the same thing for the Cowboys offense. They beat up on, especially the first 13 games of the season, they played like nobody but bums.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I think I'm going to be on the the Cowboys team total over in that one. So you're on the over. That's good. We're somewhat aligned there. I don't know. I will say the only other thing that comes to mind is when the Packers were 7-point favorite at home against the Niners. That looked like a game where the Packers are not going to lose at home to the San Francisco team. And they did. It was a weird I remember there was like a block punt or some weird shit that happened, or a punt return. So there could be that touchdown favorite that goes down and spoils everyone teasers and parlays. All right, 2 more games. We'll get you out of here. Lions and Rams, where you at with this one?
I think Rams win that one outright. I think that's a pretty popular pick, isn't it?
It is. I feel like the Rams are the trendiest dog of the weekend.
Which makes me very nervous. But, I mean, what would be more Lions than finally getting to win a division, finally getting to host a playoff game for the first time since 93, and then the old quarterback you traded away comes back into your stadium and beats you and breaks the heart of it. I mean, that's so Lions to me. I mean, their defense is the worst defense in the playoffs. Their secondary is atrocious, even though CJ Gardner-Johnson's back. I don't think he's going to make that big of a difference. And now they have to take on the hottest team in the NFL with one of the hottest passing attacks. Like, I know it's a square dog. It makes me nervous, but I mean, if I look at this game every which way, it points to the Rams. So I just have to kind of trust the numbers. Sometimes the obvious bet is the right bet. Sometimes. Lions defense stinks. People in the chat saying the Lions disrespected. Their defense is atrocious, terrible, bottom 5 defense.
It's very bad.
I mean, the only thing you can hope for is that like the offense scores every drive too, and then the Lions get the ball in the last possession of the game, and then like win on a last second score.
Yeah. I was talking to our guy POD Pete about this. He's also on the Rams to win, and he's a Rams fan. And the Rams are a very trendy pick, and they are everyone's pick, not only in this game, but to make a run in the playoffs at a big plus price. I think that the Lions, I think all eyes are going to be on Goff. Yep. Goff revenge game, Stanford coming home. I think the Lions run game does well. And he informed me that the Rams run defense is their strength. That's fine. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not going to act like I know more than the stats and the rankings. I just think that with no Laporta, I think the team's going to step up and make Goff and that passing attack have to do less. I think this is a game where you see the Lions running backs average like 5.4 yards per carry. And I mean,
few people know Jared Goff more than Sean McVay. So
fair enough. Yes, fair enough. So I think it's gonna be a great game. I like the Lions there, and that would be my prop. Achane and the Lions running duo. I can't pick the right one. That's those are my player props I like. All right, last one. Eagles at Bucks. I am a Bucks fan. I would have probably gone to this game if it wasn't Monday night. It's the only night I can't do, but maybe that's a blessing in disguise because I feel like the Eagles are going to kick the shit out of them. Do you agree or disagree?
I don't know. This game, this is another game I'm just going to bet the over because I'm a metrics guy. I'm a numbers guy. I try to trust the numbers, and the numbers tell me the Eagles are the better team, the more talented team, but you have to account something for this implosion by the Eagles. There has to be something going on in the locker room. Their confidence has to be at an all-time low. There is talks of Nick Sirianni, their coach, possibly getting fired if they lose. This has got to be the worst locker room situation heading into the playoffs of all time. So the measurables tell me the Eagles, the immeasurables tell me the Buccaneers. I'm going to bet the over because the weakness of both teams is their defenses, especially the Eagles secondary stinks. They might struggle to slow down Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. It's a relatively low total, I think 44. I'll take the over, but I truly don't know what's going to happen in that game.
Well, that's where I would disagree with you. I
Ooh.
and the reason being, I like the under in this game.
Ooh, okay.
I Yeah, and you're right. The Eagles' defense is really bad. You want to know the problem is? I think Baker is not even anywhere near 100%, and I think we just saw it. I don't think it can be overstated enough. The Bucs won that game against the Panthers, but dude, as a Bucs fan who watched every second and am so happy that they won the division, I think that's awesome for this team and the underdog story, etc. Shutting out the Panthers is not impressive because we just saw the Panthers not score a point against the Jags defense, who's fucking terrible. Scoring 9 points against Carolina Panthers.
Not good.
3 field goals. And let's be honest, they could have fucking lost that game. DJ Chark fumbles in the end zone, and they get another touchdown call back for penalty. That was not good. The Bucs offense concerns me heavily. And I think if you think about how the Eagles can dominate this game, they can still play bully ball. I don't know if Jalen Hurts doesn't have a fucking working finger. They still have a great offensive line. I think they can get enough yards on the ground to sustain drives, chew up clock. I think this is probably a game that lands really around the number, like 17-14, 17-13. But man, Baker looks bad. So the Bucs are run dependent in a sense where they really have been using Rashawn White a lot. Dave Canales, the guy from the Seahawks, has done it all season, and they're finally starting to find success. Maybe they do, because the Eagles defense is not good, but I'm also worried about the front seven for the Eagles getting to break Baker and him not being 100%. So I think it could be a rough day for him. I don't like the Bucs offense. I like the under.
I won't argue too much with that one. That one, anything could happen in that game, and I wouldn't be surprised. So,
well, I love to hear your best bets of Dolphins. I'm going to be on that as well. I'll probably be on the under. Go Achan. Thanks for hanging out for an hour and change and going over the NHL slate. Iain, your Twitter handle's in there. Iain McBets. Follow him on Twitter and podcast Bacon Bets. I'll plug anything you want. Just feel free to share it after this. Put it in the chat or text it to me. Did I miss anything, by the way? I know you're on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, Bacon Bets podcast is on YouTube as well. That's the main thing. And then Twitter at Iain MacBets. And I know we didn't get a chance to talk college basketball. I'll leave the people with this pick for tonight. Ooh. Hofstra -4.5 against Northeastern.
So you know it's funny that you like that. I covered that. I did half the board. I'm going to go back to it after you hop off. Hofstra went from 5.5 to 4.5. Mm-hmm. It looks like money's going into, who are they playing again? Northeastern? Northeastern looks a little contrarian, but I started to think that Hofstra actually laying 5.5 on the road when they're 1-4 on the road. I actually think that's a lot of respect. So I normally my contrarian self would be like, ooh, give me Northeastern, who nobody likes. And we're seeing, sharps on them as well. I think it's a duping. So I'm actually going opposite now. I think it's a lot of respect for Hofstra. He's not a good road team. I think Hofstra covers a number. I like Hofstra as well.
Love Hofstra tonight.
Oh my goodness gracious. Love him.
Love Hofstra.
Hammer the money line.
NHL picks. My number one best bet tonight. Hofstra -4.5.
Are you tracking your college basketball record?
Yeah. I was hot lately, but I got off to an abysmal start to the season. So I think I'm around 500 in terms of units. I think I might be down like half a unit right now for the season, but I have been hot the past few weeks.
Okay. All right. Good. Love to hear it. Good luck. Go Hofstra. Go. Wait, what was your best bet in hockey? I know you gave me 4, but what was your favorite?
Favorite for tonight, I would say, I think the Leafs. I think the Leafs beat.
I was just going to say, let's squad ride the Leafs.
Yeah, I think the Leafs
beat them in Brian's face.
Brian knows puck, unfortunately.
Brian knows puck. All right, man. Good shit. Enjoy your non-alcoholic Guinness. I'm going to go grab a 4-pack. Thank you for hanging out, and we'll have you on in a couple weeks.
All right, sounds good, man. Take care. Thanks for having me on.
Take it easy. Good shit. W's to Iain in the chat, please and thank you. I got to take a piss because this cold brew is going right through me. So I'm going to pause for a few minutes. Does anybody know what time BTL starts today? Is it 12:30? Or are they still going on at 2? Oh boy, here comes the corp text. Let's get this relisted ASAP. I want to circle with Jason on a strategy, then call me. Fuck. Oh, they're live right now. Okay, you know what? Honestly, I could probably get to some corp stuff. I apologize. I think I can put out some fires. This has been a bad stretch for your boy yesterday and today. Not good. Was maybe even going to have to fly to New York fucking tomorrow to go figure some shit out, but I think I have somebody to cover for me. DGen is, as much as I'd like to spray the board, I might be losing a very large chunk of commission off of this deal that's going to fall through. So T's and P's. I'm just kidding. Serge is back today. Okay, cool. They're on now. Awesome. It's on now. Max Hacks. W Max Hacks. I don't think I've seen that name before. All right. On that note, I'll get you guys over there. Thank you for the sub banks. Thank you for the follows. Thank you to Iain for hopping on. Enjoy having him. And tomorrow, guys, oh, if you're not in the Discord, get in the Discord. Can we drop a Discord link real quick? If anybody's not in the Discord already, get in the Discord. I will get to the rest of the college basketball board, give you my plays and some thoughts. Excuse me. And Realtor Piss is different, dude. It really is different. And we will get the newsletter out. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, you can do it for free on the website, thedegenerateweekly.com, thedegenerateweekly.com. Subscribe for free. And our best bets will be in your inbox tomorrow morning. And we will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. with Steak. I'll be in studio with Steak. What are you guys doing in the chat? What is this pussy and you're a duck and I'm good? What is going on here? Can we grow the fuck up, please? Can we grow the fuck up, please? And thank you. All right, you're gonna raid Book It Sports. Everybody, let's grow up. Let's have some fun. Let's be civil. We're all on the same team here. Are we not? Are we not? What are we talking about here? We're getting angry over sports. We're just a bunch of fucking couch potatoes. All right. We're a bunch of couch potatoes with some athletes doing the real hard work. All right. There's the raid. W's. Have a great day. All right. Thanks for the support.